The future is brought to you by Belize. A community is something that's shared. Since joining Western Massachusetts, the Springfield Thunderbirds are beginning to mix with an area that values its hockey and its people. As the season begins, the players have work to do both on the ice and off, and trips like this one to Granville Elementary School help create a bond with the community and a new generation of Springfield hockey fans.
Sarah from Edmonton.
My name's Logan, I'm from Nova Scotia.
My name is Mackenzie, I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
My name is Dryden, and I'm from British Columbia.
You know what, I thought myself and Hunt included, we both really stepped up our game, and I'm not sure if the competition was there for us today. I don't think these other guys took had to play their best game, but I think for us we played a full 23 minutes, and we really got the job done.
Yeah, there's definitely some talent in the group, but we always say hard work beats talent. I think our team had a lot of talent, but we didn't have the hard work there. I think we have a long week ahead of us. There's a lot of things we need to work on this week. So, yeah, it was a great time. We lost our game, so I was pretty upset about that. But other than that, it was a great time. It was good to see the kids have a good time. I think, well, for someone like me, I realized that kind of stuff's important. I know when I was a kid and I'd meet my hockey heroes, I thought it was the biggest thing ever. Players that they watch they come to the games. Like a lot of kids told me they come to the games and they watch our games. So I think it was cool for them to meet the players up front and personal like that.
The Thunderbirds opened the season home schedule with a 2-1 record and a sold-out crowd.
Matthew Dawn is second in the game on the power play, assisted by number 27, Andre Ghetto, and number 22, Chris Terry, at 1 minute 32 seconds.
It's been obvious that we have a bunch of character guys on our team, especially the young guys. It's really good to see, especially with it being my 6th year. You don't see that every year on a team with young guys like this that can battle back from being down like that. Usually with a young team, they get deflated once they're down 1 goal. And I think that kind of happened to us on Friday this last weekend, but I think that's definitely a character thing. And then with Jordy, he definitely demands that out of us. So we don't really have the option. We have to work hard. And I think that's really good, especially with the team that we have, and I think it'll work in the long run for sure.
Start of the season, everyone's excited, everyone wants to be here. We do have a young team, and I think the leadership group that we have is good. So not getting down after a goal against or coming back in the third. It's the American Hockey League. Things happen. I mean, from night to night, things are different. Doing all the little things that Jordy talks about, riding the dots and sinking, coming out 5-man connected, all those little things that we've been preaching from day one of training camp.
We played great. We gave up the first goal again, and then we battled. It took all the way till the end of the third period to come back, and then overtime to win it. So seeing those types of things, I think that says a lot about our team. That's huge for us, and it gives you that extra boost. And just to know that you guys, that we're able to do that kind of stuff, that definitely helps.
Two days after their thrilling win at the Mass Mutual Center, Ryan Horvat and Ian McCoshen were representing the Thunderbirds in a different building, Bay State Children's Hospital.
Forward, you score all the goals.
What position are you in soccer? You're a forward also?
Just like scoring goals, everybody.
Goal scorer.
Keep it up. I think it's very important to be in the community, especially to go to the hospitals that we did and visit the sick kids. The first place we went to, the kid kind of missed school to come out, and he kind of gave us a tour, just kind of showed us like what he does when he goes there. So we kind of saw what his life is like when he walks in there.
The fish, and we can take pictures of your heart and see what's going on in there too.
This start of every year, we get on one of these and we get our hearts checked too.
That's really neat. Yeah. Oh, and then they also do the bike. Have you ever done a bike like that before?
Yeah, my grandma has like an old version of it down here downstairs.
So you're missing school today too?
Half day.
Half day. Oh, those are the best. Parker, you got lucky.
Is that the orange?
I did it.
Thanks.
There you go.
You walk into the room and the kids are kind of sad or looking down, and the lights are off, and you turn the lights on, you walk in with a shirt or a hat, a couple autographs, and the kids just brighten up, and you just kind of make their day or make their week. And it's so important to go out there and show our face in the community, because the fans are coming out every weekend to support us. So the least we can do is go out and visit the community.
As you guys know, big picture, I look at it as the first shift to the next game and make sure we're ready to play, organized, structured, and our compete levels at the level we want it to be a winner. And so I'm just looking at one shift at a time. You're looking this past weekend we played Hershey here, a top team that went to Eastern Conference, represented in the Calder Cup, and it comes down to a face-off. We knew it would going into the game. That would be every face-off was pretty important, and they executed on a face-off play to tie the game and put themselves in a position to win. So all those little face-offs, every play, you want to make sure you're always doing your job. And for the most part, we've done it. But you want to learn those lessons, so get to the playoff time or Calder Cup times that you're dialed into those situations. You put it in the memory bank. I learned my lesson here, and it goes the other way next time.
5 versus 2. See 5 versus 2. Whistle blows. Rhino or Doug, you put a second puck in. Those two each drop off. You do 2 touch.
We don't want to chase games though. We don't want to be down 3-0 and expect to come back every single night. A lot of the games in the first period we've been down 1-0 and we have to chase the game a little bit. So we want to come out and get the lead, not chase it, and play our structure, organized way, and come down to those details, face-offs, be a little more focused on those, make sure we're doing our job. We need a block shot, we get a block shot. That desperation at the end of games that you need to win championships and win playoff games.
I was given the honor of dropping the ceremonial first puck, which was a really cool experience. It was a great ovation from the crowd. Definitely felt the energy and the love, so it was truly appreciated. I do remember the people that I served with overseas as well as back home. But the special bond and relationship you do form when you are overseas, those relationships last forever. And so I always think back to those guys. They're all doing well, and I keep in touch with them pretty much on a monthly basis. And we're all scattered throughout the country and all over the world. So it's a day for me to look back at those that I was with and kind of reminisce on the good times we had.
A Friday night in early November brought with it a sense of deja vu for the Thunderbirds. Much like on opening night, the Thunderbirds pierced the St. John's defense with Sena Akalatsi's first of the year breaking the ice. Offense has not come easy for the Thunderbirds in the young season, but thanks to another stable performance from goaltender Red O'Bara, tonight's early edge belongs to Springfield. Despite bouts of offensive struggle, the T-Birds' competitive fire, true of a Jordy Kinnear coach club, is far from burning out. Midway through the second, the game takes on an edgy feel.
You just got to think about winning, you know. You just got to stay businesslike and not let that stuff get to you. I mean, I've been in the league for 6 years. It doesn't bug me at all, and these guys want to do that stuff. It's all good. I mean, you just got to stay even keel, not let the emotions get the best of you.
With St. John's continued attempts to lure the T-Birds into penalty traps, the game enters the third with little room for error. As the final period begins, it's the Ice Caps who make the first crucial error. Against his former organization, Stephen McCauley's goal put Springfield up to stay. The Ice Caps' last gasps quickly go breathless as the T-Birds seal the deal.
On any team, I think, you have to have a combination of a lot of different personalities. And you have to have your leaders, you have to have your followers. You're not going to have all Bobby Orrs out there. And you're not going to have all fighters and physical guys. You're going to have fancy dancers. But you need a good goalie to start off with. So if I was starting a team today, I'd start from the net out and then the defense and then the forwards. But you really have to have 4 lines today to go anywhere.
On Saturday, past and future generations of Boston Bruins came to Springfield. Names like Rick Middleton and Reggie Lumlin could once again be seen taking the ice in a Bruins sweater thanks to an alumni organization that raised support for the Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I got a call yesterday actually, from the guy who runs Big Brothers and Big Sisters asking if I would like to play. And of course I would love to hop on the opportunity and play with all these great guys. I guess I got my phone number from my high school hockey coach. I just graduated from Louis Charles last year, and they got my number from him and then just contacted me from there. Had a good time, good experience with all the Bruins players. My first goal, got a pass right in the slot, picked my head up, saw the goalie was down, so I just went up high with it, and luckily enough, it went in. It was a good shot. It was actually awesome having all the ex-Bruins players come up, congratulating me. It was just a great experience overall. It was awesome going out there and realizing who you were playing with. It's not one of my friends, it's actually a professional that's in the Hall of Fame that's done amazing things in hockey. It's just mind-blowing to be out there on the ice with them. It was a great experience. I loved every second of it.
Later that night, the Thunderbirds faced Providence and goaltender Anton Hudobin on assignment from the Boston Bruins. Despite building a 3-1 lead, the T-Birds would end the second period trailing by 1. It would take 20 shots and a Paul Thompson goal to even the score. The team knows what it needs to do, and they're battling every step of the way. Focus on the process, and the results will come. The future is brought to you by Belize.
Do you know how old he is? How old do you think I am?
Not 6.
6? Older. A little bit older.
27.
Younger? 100? 60? Almost. 21. 21. I'm 20.
Today at Homer Street School, we were honored to have some of the Springfield Thunderbirds come into our building, and the reaction was overwhelmingly positive. The students absolutely love them because it's a local team, but it's also at the same time these are guys that are playing at the top of their game, and to have the Thunderbirds come in, and I explained to the students, I said, these guys are like one step away from, like, you know who the Boston Bruins are, you know who the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers and all these teams are. These guys are right there. They're at that door, but the next phone call could be them going up to the level. So like you're getting to meet guys that you could eventually see like on TV, and so that kind of helped bring it home for them that, or while we have that here in our city.
Europe and Germany and Finland and Minnesota, Ohio.
Which one did you guys like the most?
Springfield. Springfield,
Good answer.
Massachusetts.
Good answer.
As the season reaches its midpoint, injuries begin to compile. For the Thunderbirds, Graham Black is working back from an injury in early November against the Hershey Bears.
I've got some mixed feelings, definitely. I'm itching to get back on the ice, and you know, it's always tough dealing with injuries, especially when your team, or you think you could help your team. I'm dying to get back with the boys, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. The way I've been dealing with it is trying to spend as much time at the rink as I can and around the guys, so I don't kind of isolate myself. I still like to try and feel part of the team, even though I'm skating after practice and working out at different times and stuff.
While Black pushes toward a return to the ice, other Thunderbirds anxiously await their first action of the season, and in some cases, the first pro games of their careers.
I was in Florida for the rookie camp and happened to get into a little altercation with one of the players from Washington and broke my hand on his head. So didn't expect that coming into the season, but I mean, it was a little bit of adversity I had to push through, and I'm just excited to be back on the ice again. You try and stay busy away from the rink because days do get long when you're injured, especially off the beginning, but I mean, you just try and, you know, stay in contact with friends, family, and you know, they keep you, you know, not thinking about it, I guess. But we got a big family here. I mean, everyone loves each other, so that's awesome about this team. Is, you know, it's a lot of fun to be around the guys and, you know, in the dressing room and that. So you guys have been great to me throughout this, you know, injury and, you know, rehabbing and whatnot. But I just, you know, expect 110% of myself. I mean, just work hard in all three zones. You know, even if it's not on the score sheet, just helping out with, you know, little plays, little details, and just, you know, buying into the systems the coaches have here. And I mean, first game's this weekend, so I just can't wait to be out there. Really, I'm super excited.
Center, but rolling on Chase, he settles it finally, and then gets absolutely leveled in the neutral zone. McCann immediately steps up and starts swinging with Jones.
Just as Hawryluk gets his feel for the speed of the game, he's caught with his head down in the neutral zone. The everyday trials of an individual player will build the collective story of a team season.
I mean, the best part of my day is when I get to come to the rink and hang out with the guys and work hard and be focused, because we all have one goal in mind, and that's one, to make the playoffs, and two, to win a championship. And if you keep those goals at the forefront of your focus, you know that you're working towards something, and if you are working towards something, you can easily keep your head in the game and be ready to go back out there and contribute. Hockey's become a very large role-playing sport, and when guys go out, like Gregs or Weeks, that play big minutes on the team, guys have to step up, and I think our youth and our young players have done an incredible job of trying to fill those positions, and obviously we haven't had quite the results we wanted in the past couple weeks with some of those key players out, but it's all a learning experience, and it's not like we're getting outplayed by any means, and we've proven that any guy can come into our lineup and have success, so we're going to keep going on the same route and hopefully string together some wins here, and then when we get key players back, they'll fill their spots in the lineup and we'll be a better team for it. At the same time, everybody has to deal with injuries. Every team is going to go through a phase of this, and it's just part of our job, and it's opportunity for other players, and that's good to have that inner competition, so when we do come back, all of us players, there is that little like edge out there, because we are competing against one another, but more so with each other to try and better this team and try and move forward.
They're facing a team tonight in Providence that leads the Eastern Conference in shot attempts on goal per game, just over 33 of them. But ironically, the Bruins have yet to lose in regulation when they are outshot by their opponents, 6-0-2. Ocholowski with it, shooting, he scores! Ocholowski took the shot, don't know if it was tipped in front or not, and here come the Bears! He does connect on one ring.
AHL is a league of opportunities. For Paul Thompson, opportunity has come in the guise of the Florida Panthers. For another, his departure to the NHL means an open spot for someone looking to prove his worth. Puck. Thomas Šemić, the aerial flip through center, onside play. Horvat cutting in, saves Subban, rebound shoveled over the net. Barbosa out at the line, works Ocholowski, in front, Harper scores! The streak is over, and Shane Harper deflects the feed home. Ocholowski with eyes in the back of his head, and the Steelers for the first time. It's the ability of a team to evaluate, react, and execute that will ultimately decide the season outcome.
There's really a lot of wonderful things going on in Springfield, and it's really been a privilege for us to sort of highlight that with our investment. We'd love to be associated with the Thunderbirds and other organizations that are doing great things here in Springfield and in the region. The ownership has been really generous about making those opportunities available for us and some of our new employees that are new to the region. So I'm glad they toured the site. It's an important part of the overall campus with Mass Mutual Center and what they're doing over there. So it's important that we each know what's going on the other side of the street.
Can't wait till this place open, eh?
We're taking a tour of the MGM Springfield facility. What did we see today, Juho? What different buildings?
We've been like where's the blackjack table's gonna be, where's the hotel's gonna be, so it's pretty fun.
What else did we see, Donnie?
We saw a bunch of stuff. It was a good time. It's just cleaning off my shoes.
that are similar to that, and you're just trying to create some havoc, so it's harder on the defense to kind of track you and just try to get to the net. If one guy can get to the net, then you're gonna create like an odd man opportunity. Ever since they changed the overtime to 3-on-3, this is definitely different. You have to be kind of man on man, almost follow your man all around the ice, and then if there is a fast break, just try to get up in the play and try to create an odd man rush. At 27 years old, I feel like I still continue to get better. I'm learning the game still. I can always, work on the defensive part of my game, and I think that has improved. And then obviously, just coming into this weekend, I want to be sharp right off the first 20 minutes of the first game against Binghamton. Basically, set the tone from there. Be sharp, not only just physically but mentally, just being prepared, getting the pucks in, out, and I think once that happens, then the offense and the team will just roll from there.
While Shane Harper and his teammates prepare to face off with the visiting Binghamton Senators, the Mass Mutual Center also welcomes a visit from a very special guest.
It's all about the kids. Watching their faces light up, watching them open up the presents. I got the L's making some sticks, lots of hockey sticks, forward sticks, goalie sticks, whatever they need, they're making them. Gotta get some rest, gotta eat my cookies and milk, keep those elves in line, making all those toys. Make sure that sleigh is filled up and ready to go. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas to all!
Santa hats are made for kids. That is tight. I got a little head.
2 days earlier, it was the Thunderbirds playing Santa as they made a holiday delivery to the nearby Ronald McDonald House. They brought with them some of the bears collected in the team's first annual teddy bear toss.
Someone from the hospital will call us and say, do you have rooms available?
Mm-hmm.
We would like for some of our people to come over and stay.
Actually, our mission is to house families from everywhere, and so they're able to stay here during their care. And then once they're discharged, they're able to go home. They're like a second family. They're like my children. They're wonderful. Always with a smile on their faces, no matter what. So I look forward to coming in here every morning. So everyone that stays here is actually in the same situation. So they serve each other and they help each other by supporting each other, by sharing their stories, by considering this house their second home.
Give her the big one.
There's more.
Sounds good. I'll give her the good one.
What helps the recovery of these children also is for individuals like the Thunderbirds to actually come to the house and socialize with the kids and cheer them up and so forth. So we just want to thank the Thunderbirds for actually visiting us here.
And the teddy bears.
And who brought the teddy bears.
After helping to find a new home for a few of the Thunderbirds' 2,793 teddy bears, it was time for the boys to get back to hockey. Having unsuccessful on 3 separate first-period power play chances, the Thunderbirds' Jared McCann is given some space and takes what small opening he's given. Returning to the action for the first time since November 26th, Greg McKay shows his NHL acceleration to close the second period with the final punch to Binghamton's gut. Barra and the defense holding down the fort, McKegg's third point of the night puts a bow on a Springfield victory.
That's McKay from Scarbosa and Bellsea at 1955.
After another home win and a 2-game road trip, the team returned to the rink for practice and found time to start a new tradition.
All right, everybody, hold on.
Even with the challenges of forming a new team and a long road ahead, the holidays remind us of the bonds we build together and the importance of family, both the one we're born with and another brought together by a common goal. The Future is brought to you by Belize.
Reaching for high, 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 reaching for high.
Following the loss and a hard-earned point in Bridgeport, the T-Birds recover and prepare for 2 important matchups. After returning from injury on the road, Mackenzie Weegar is finding his stride quickly, providing defensive stability and making his way onto the score sheet.
I think it's mostly just taking care of your body, trying not to eat too bad, stuff like that. But Alex, our trainer, does a really good job keeping everybody in pretty good shape and watching what they do and rehabbing well. I think even with Regs' shoulder, Sussie's shoulder, everybody's looks good and they're ready to play a game like when they're back. So that's what I tried to do for myself, and when I got back in the game in Wilkes-Barre, I tried to come off the way I did when I first got hurt. So
there's going to be points doled out to Mackenzie Weegar, who steps back into the lineup and makes an instant impact.
I think the guys are really excited for this sort of second half after Christmas. You got to take it day by day. Wins are tough to come by after Christmas, so with everybody coming back, it should be a good second half here.
Thunderbirds are good.
He knew that I was with him, and he made a good play, and I just happened to stop in front of net and just bang home the rebound.
With Wolfpack goaltender Brandon Halverson slow to react, Tim Bozon makes it 2 goals in 2 games. Having survived a Wolfpack charge in the second, Springfield ups the ante in the third, and once again, Greco finds himself in the middle of it. Jared McCann's elevating backhander is the final punch in front of nearly 6,000 strong.
To be honest, the fans have been great all year. The atmosphere in this building is great. The fans are on top of us. They're loud, vocal, so it was a great atmosphere, and I know the players really appreciate the support they're getting. Yeah, it's always fun when you win. I mean, that's what we try to instill in the guys. There's obviously a distinct difference between losing and winning, and it's fun when you win. But to be honest, I really enjoyed the third period because I saw our identity back with playing in the offensive zone, protecting the puck, and playing well without the puck. So we just want to build our game. We've been building, lineups changing all the time, but when I see our identity playing the right way, obviously I'm going to be very happy.
It's been a busy season for Alex Ambrose, the team's athletic trainer. It's his responsibility to help players perform in peak physical condition at all times, especially when recovering from injury. In the case of Jace Howerluck, he'll be returning to the Thunderbirds lineup against the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, the same opponent he faced in his injury-shortened AHL debut.
He's coming back tonight better than ever, and we expect big things from him. My role, first and foremost, is injury prevention and rehabilitation, so that comes, in the forefront. But really, along with that, it's also keeping guys motivated throughout the rehab process. In game, I'm keeping my fingers crossed and making sure that it is a nice, easy transition to the next day where I don't have to do a whole lot of paperwork as far as documenting injuries. But my philosophy is always, if it's a boring day for me, that means it's a great day for the team because that means nobody's hurt. It's huge getting those veteran guys back because we have such a young team. So those voices within the locker room, it definitely plays dividends as far as how their attitude is within the locker room. It translates onto the ice. So it was huge getting those guys back.
Playing in his first home game as a T-Bird, Kyle Rao quickly makes his mark. Jace Howerluck makes his first contribution on the score sheet as a pro, with Mackenzie Weegar serving as the beneficiary.
Weegar shoots and scores!
The Sound Tigers tried to rip up the Thunderbirds' morale, Steve Bernier's shorthanded goal with the net empty forces overtime.
You've got to be kidding me. Steve Bernier scores only the second shorthanded goal against the Thunderbirds all season.
With neither team successful on OT power plays, the skills competition is needed on this night. Bozan received some lady luck against longtime NHL standout Yaroslav Halak. Mike McKenna provided the exclamation point with his 5th straight shootout save, sealing Springfield's 4th straight home ice triumph. The Future is brought to you by Belize.
Yeah, that's the way I would do it. Yeah.
We're ready. Oh, it's fantastic. The true fans come out to Springfield to get the true fans. Matter of fact, on the way up here, I met some of the fans at a Dunkin' Donuts on the Pike. Hey, I said, I can't stop, I've got to run. They said, oh, we'll see you at the game. We're going to the game. And that was 35 miles, 40 miles away, you know. So in the early days, pre-Civil War, in the early days, you could show up and volunteer to sing the national anthem. And I just kept showing up more than the other guy. And before you knew it, I was part of the family. And no, actually, I've been with the Bruins, Boston Bruins, 40 years. I'm in my 41st year. The first year was the bicentennial year of 1976.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
There's certain nights like Ray Bourque, you know, getting his number retired, and actually nothing could compare with the night, two nights after the Marathon bombings, where the only professional team in the Boston area that happened to have a game scheduled was luckily the Boston Bruins. So I ended up doing the national anthem at that game, where I stopped singing completely and the audience continued finishing the anthem with an incredible feeling. I had tears in my eyes, and so nothing could top that. It's ironic that the high point of what I consider the high point of my singing career was a night where I didn't sing.
On January 11th, the T-Birds matched up with the Albany Devils for the first time this season. The Devils took a 2-1 lead into the third period, where an apparent Brody Sutter goal was erased by the referee's late whistle. Not to be denied, the Thunderbirds tied it up on Mackenzie Weegar's rebound goal with less than 2 minutes left to play. With a point in their back pocket, the Thunderbirds hope to seal yet another home win in overtime. Following a 3-on-1 rush that came up empty, Ben Sexton went the other way to beat Mike McKenna with a quick strike and escape with a Devils win. A chance at redemption would come just 2 nights later as the Thunderbirds traveled to the Times Union Center in Albany. For head coach Jordy Kinnear, the trip to Albany marked a return to where his professional hockey career began.
Oh, it's where I started. I played with a lot of great people, met a lot of great people, spent a lot of time there, and to be honest, you know, I've won championships, but I really learned how to win at the pro level. It had an impact, the people had an impact, the teammates had an impact, and it kind of allowed me to be in this position. You know, anytime you're in a winning organization and win the ultimate prize, which is the Calder Cup, and everyone wants a winner, and I said that I was granted this opportunity, I believe, because I was on those teams, and I was considered a winner.
But now I'm bad.
I love the arena, I love the billing. As I said, a lot of special nights in there. There were a lot of battles fought. You know, Adirondack used to be in the league, and I remember 10,000, 11,000 people in there, and being physical games, which I enjoyed. It's probably what you miss most being a coach, is you don't get in those physical battles, and you know, I'm a competitor, so you love to compete. So that's what I remember. I love being there. I love the people there. It's just a special place for me.
Matt Mackenzie's goal with less than a minute to play would tie the score and send the game to overtime, where Shane Harper flipped the script on Albany to secure the 3-2 overtime victory.
To be honest, I don't talk about myself a lot. It's about these guys and about their career, and it's about them creating their own path, and so it's special to me, but as I said, these guys have their own path to create and make their own statement as they move forward in their careers.
The next night, the boys were back at home to face the Providence Bruins, and while the battles began on the ice, it was a different kind of homecoming that took center stage. Returning from duty with the U.S. Coast Guard, Brandon Woodford was on hand to create a special memory for his family.
I was in the Pacific Ocean, kind of near the equator, when we first started this, and I was planning it the whole way back, going through the Panama Canal, making it through the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, I was trying to think of ways to surprise them. Kind of thought of a hockey game, and then I was like, you know, this could be fun. Found an email address for the Mass Mutual Center. Didn't really think that it would go like this. Kind of worked out.
They're staying fine, and they're not. Congratulations. We got a prize for you. Where's my prize helper? Where's my prize helper? There he is. Come on over here and deliver your prize, sir. This is Brandon Woodford, Joyce and Scott's son out of the U.S. Coast Guard Thunderbirds. So hold on.
The future is brought to you by Belize. As the T-Birds face off against the Hershey Bears, some of their teammates make a special visit to an important group of fans. In the AHL, community means everything. Griffin's Friends, a group dedicated to providing support to children with cancer, hosted a party for young patients and their families at Saturday's Thunderbirds game. members of the team with the night off didn't hesitate to pay a visit for autographs, pictures, and of course, some in-game snacks. While Brent Bregner, Dryden Hunt, Eddie Whitco, and Dennis Morgan make an impact in the community, the rest of the Thunderbirds look to secure a win before the impending All-Star break. There won't be a break this season for Mackenzie Weegar, who was selected to participate in this year's All-Star Game due in part to his team leading 9 goals. Despite missing 10 games due to injury, Weegar is only 5 points away from achieving a new career high. An empty net goal by the Bears would seal this back-and-forth contest for Hershey and leave the Thunderbirds looking to the long road ahead.
Yeah, the break's nice. Obviously, I love the effort the guys put forward. We just got to do a lot smarter, and they got to take a break, and we got to dig in when we come back. We have a lot of work to do, as we all see. Obviously, taking more time than I wanted to, but the one-goal games, we got to learn how to win and close them up because we have a lot of leads. At the end of games, like I said, I know 32, 33 one-goal games. I'm not sure what it is. It's got to be up there, and we got to close those out.
We got a good team here. We got a young team, but we work really hard, and we're right there with some of the best teams. I mean, Hershey's a great team. They got a lot of great players, and we stuck with them right to the end, and we just need to be able to finish them.
The road ahead of Mackenzie Weegar on this night leads to Allentown, Pennsylvania, where the next couple of days will bring both the skills competition and the All-Star Challenge.
2, 1. Hey Thunderbirds fans, just on my way to Allentown for the All-Star Game. Feels really good. It'll be an exciting time when we get there. But just representing the whole organization, the D-Corps that helped me get there, and also the forwards that helped me get there too, with all the coaching staff. So I appreciate it all. We got to finish closeout games. We've had a lot of one-goal hockey games, so we just got to finish that. But I just want to thank all my teammates. They helped get me to where I am, so just stick with it. My teammates think it's pretty funny to tell me I'll be in the fastest skater, which I don't think will happen, but hopefully it's something just stationary, like accuracy or something like that, hardest shot. But it'll be fun no matter what.
As the first ever Thunderbirds All-Star, Weegar would have little time to settle in before showing off his skills on Sunday night. It would prove to be a very busy weekend, with rivals becoming temporary teammates and fans gathered to meet some of the best the AHL has to offer.
It's good to meet these guys. I didn't know anybody coming in here, but a good group of guys here, and I had a lot of fun. It's been a good time. I wish I could have chipped in a little bit more, but yeah, we'll come back hard tomorrow night with the 3-on-3.
Jordan Wheel from the Phantoms, skating his way in. Wheel has it, Crossley scores! Mackenzie Weegar
but just my first shift, first shot, really found the back door, was a nice pass. Happy to get that one behind me.
You've already got more goals this season than you had all last year. Was it more of a conscious effort to try and create some more offense this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have a bigger role this year. And the coach trusts me a little bit more this year. And so far I've done that. He stepped up scoring goals, so I'll take that all the time.
Getting the chance to show off his all-star level of play is only one step in a long journey for Weegar this season, but it's one that he'll likely remember for a long time to come. The trip back to Springfield leads to the second half of the Thunderbirds' first season, and with that, many challenges ahead. The future is brought to you by Belize. Thunderbirds fans arrived early on Friday, February 10th for the chance to meet a 16-time world champion, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Flair's first stop was the VIP meet and greet session, where fans were treated an autographed photo and some lasting memories with the champ.
Ric Flair's always been flashy. He's always been the one that set the standard for showmanship, and he was always exciting to watch when he was inside the square circle. If you consider all that he's achieved inside and outside the ring, very humble, very nice guy, and it was a pleasure to meet such a legend.
Next stop for the Nature Boy was the T-Birds locker room, where he provided some words of wisdom and encouragement to the team. It's safe to say that Flair had a few fans inside the locker room as well.
The man's a 16-time world champion. That means he's been the best in the world 16 times in professional wrestling. So there's only one other man in the world that's ever accomplished that. So we were in the room with greatness and came in and had some words for us, told us about old hockey friends of his that he used to run with. It was good. It was great to meet him. You know, he was looking for, as he referred to, I believe, the bad man. And we all kind of didn't know what he was saying at first, and then we realized what he meant. And so, yeah, we could have picked a few guys in the room, and we decided to all point at Senna and put him on the spot. So it's a pretty funny moment.
I think some of the boys might have ratted me out or said something, but that kind of made him take a little liking to me. I really don't know what it was, but whatever it was pretty cool.
Finally, it was time for Rick to drop the puck, but not before a few woos and a word of warning for the visiting Hartford Wolfpack.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me. Very satisfying. And I know my friend Senna over here, Akwanti, is going to kick some of that. Woo! You know what I'm talking about the best? I'm talking about the horse rocking, slap shotting, net minding, high flying, Springfield Thunderbirds, baby. Woo! 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 Come on, come on.
The Thunderbirds would face 3 important contests in the next 3 days, at home against the Wolfpack and Utica Comets before heading to Providence to complete the 3-3. Things were looking good for the T-Birds as Dennis Malkin got the house rocking early.
Howerluck around the goal, hits the trailer. Morgan, he scores! They're not line mates tonight, but Morgan and Howerluck showing their chemistry again as Dennis Morgan rips it over the stick side of Halverson, and the Thunderbirds, perhaps inspired by the Nature Boy, have a 1-0 lead less than 5 minutes in.
I'm just happy for him. I mean, I like when he scores. Me and him are, we get along real good off the ice, and he's like one of me. He's young like me. He's a rookie, and we've got that chemistry together. So I don't know, man. Just excited for him.
Weegar right side takes the shot through the seam. Howerluck shoots and scores!
Even Jace Howerluck's go-ahead goal wasn't enough as the Wolfpack stormed back to a 3-2 victory.
We're trying to make the playoffs, and it's not easy to win. So every night we got to play desperate, and I felt tonight was one of those nights where we did play desperate, but again, lack of discipline killed us.
The next night brought the Utica Comets to town and another tough contest for the Thunderbirds. Despite an early 2-0 deficit, Ian McCoshen kept forging ahead and found a way to cut the Comets' lead in half.
McCoshen scores! A completely innocent-looking half-slapper off the rush somehow finds its way through the wickets of Richard Bachman. Isn't momentum a funny thing? Lamigo moves up with Greco in a 2-on-1. Lamigo shooting off the glove, perhaps, of Bachman.
Comets goaltender Richard Bachman stood tall on Saturday night, stopping 15 shots in the third period alone. With an empty net and just seconds left and the game on the line, the Comets stirred up some controversy.
Allison does win the draw. Akalasi doesn't reach the puck. Comes to the front. Thompson tied up. No call. This game is over. Thompson got absolutely tackled in front of the goal. Nothing got called, and now, because nothing was called, there's going to be chaos.
We just got to keep building. Obviously, the last 2 games, results aren't there, but I'll tell you one thing, proud of the effort of these guys. Battle all the way through. It's another 1-goal game. We're a young team, but these guys are growing and getting better every day, and that's ultimately my goal, is to get these guys better every day, and at some point their work will be rewarded.
The team went right back to work following the weekend series. Hard work is nothing new for Paul Thompson, whose recent return from the Florida Panthers has given him somewhat of a leadership role in Springfield.
Off to a pretty good start in the American League with Springfield, and was fortunate to get the call to go up and play in Florida, and that's something that you never take for granted, because you don't know when that's going to happen again, or if you're ever going to get it. So for me, it was pretty special, and went up there with the attitude to fill a role, and kind of found a 4th-line role there for 20 games or so, and just tried to help the team win with bringing energy and playing physical. So when I go there, you're expected to kind of just bring that energy, and if you find yourself on the score sheet, it's an extra bonus here. You're expected to score a little more, produce a little more, but for me, it's the same work, and it's the same play the same way. It's just carry play a little more, and we have a little bit more of a leadership role and a little more ice time to produce a little more. It's definitely a tough lifestyle with the family, and my wife does a great job with the kids. And that's the lifestyle that we chose, and it's got its ups and downs sometimes, but it's definitely fun and entertaining.
Younger players like Dryden Hunt are creating their own path as they find their professional stride.
For me, only being 21, it was a little easier. I'm just here by myself, and I mean, I don't have any family here, so it's definitely a whole other lifestyle for sure. I mean, junior year living with billets, life's pretty easy. You come to play professional, and everything's different. I mean, you're living on your own. The style of play is totally different. I mean, it's so fast. I mean, it's taken me half a season to kind of get used to it. Obviously, to be in this league and to be great, you got to be consistent. And I think that's one thing that I'm kind of working with right now with the coaches, and is just to come and bring it every night. I mean, the guys show up super early for practice, get prepared. The pace is really high, and the pace of practice here is super high as well. So we bring it in practice every day, and the young guys, it's just great to see the older guys lead by example. And I mean, just not even on the ice, the way they carry themselves off the ice and the road is unreal. The example they show for us is huge. I mean, it couldn't have been better, obviously. Going down there and playing those 2 games, getting lots of minutes. Transition was easy. It's a quick 2-hour drive, so I went down there Thursday, played Friday, Saturday, and just left after the game Saturday. So definitely nice to go down there and score. I mean, scoring lots last year and coming into this season, and I mean, things don't come as easy. So to go down there and get the confidence back a little bit, and definitely great guys down there, great coach and staff, and some great players. So great to go down there for 2 games, and just really excited for that.
You learn quickly that if you're not bringing it every night, you're not going to be very effective. So I think that's probably the main thing, is just learning how to work, which I think our young guys here do a very good job of that. And I think the future is definitely bright for a lot of those guys. But I think basically it's just learning a pro game, being able to work at an NHL level.
The Future is brought to you by Belize. On Wednesday, February 22nd, Springfield fans had a chance to participate in a floor hockey clinic with the Thunderbirds. The team's 3-game win streak had both the T-Birds and their fans in good spirits.
It was just like a hockey clinic for anyone who wanted to come out, fans, whoever, and we kind of put it on, and there was 4 stations: shooting, face-offs, stick handling, and a passing station. Really good turnout, actually. A lot of kids came out and kind of showing them some drills, and yeah, it was a great time.
The T-Birds were back on the ice for a game day practice as they looked to capitalize on the momentum from last weekend's sweep. Forward Shane Harper was on hand to explain his game day routine.
Yeah, so game day is just slightly different. Normal practice day, we're on the ice at 10:30. Game day, we're on the ice at 10. I'm not a huge morning person, so I don't wake up super early. Maybe I'll set the alarm for just before 8, but sometimes it's hard for me to roll out of bed. And then I have my breakfast, and usually I'm on the road by a little before 8:30. Jump in my car. Sometimes I drive with Blackie, that's right across the street. Usually I'm by myself, so I just head to the rink. Then I'll usually head into the workout room, stretch, maybe ride the bike for a couple minutes, just get loose. And then usually around 9:20, 9:30, we'll have a couple meetings. All we're worried about is the game tonight against Lehigh Valley. They're a really skilled team. They're really good on the power play, so you don't want to take much penalties. Penalty kill is going to have to be big. Usually against these guys, I think the special teams is a huge part of the game. Basically just get your legs on, get some touch on the puck, basically get yourself ready for the game but not tire yourself out. And then after that, just come in the locker room, get undressed, shower up, do a change up, and then I usually head home to make like a pregame meal. Usually make some breaded chicken with some pasta. Lately I've been going to Frigo's and getting some sauce from Frigo's, making that. It's a real good Italian place. Hang out with my dog Merlin if they're in town with my girlfriend Megan, and then I usually take a nap from 2 to 4. Everybody usually takes a nap on game day, just kind of get a little bit of rest. So then I usually get up before, take a shower, put my suit on, and then have a little snack before I head out, and then just get in the car, head to the rink. I usually leave about 4:20, 4:25, 4:30. Get to the rink a little before 5. And then from there, start getting ready for the game. Just kind of same routine, almost as practice. Stretch out, ride the bike, get my stitch ready. By that time, we'll start having some meetings to go over the team we're playing that night again. And by that time, it's almost 6:30, ready for warm-ups, really. That's my whole game day routine. It's a wrap.
Before the T-Birds and Phantoms squared off, there was another important matter of business to attend to. Thunderbirds goalie and fan favorite Mike McKenna was called out in recognition of his historic 200th win at the AHL level. Only 14 other AHL players have tallied 200 or more wins between the pipes, and McKenna's consistency provides a solid blueprint for this young T-Birds team to follow.
Back to McElrath, turns and shoots it, deflected in front, and Rouse scores! The man who took the minor penalties is the one who ties it. Rouse makes it 1-1, 8:07 into the second.
Kyle Rouse's goal opened the scoring for the Thunderbirds and seemingly opened the floodgates in the second period.
Shot shot, sticked away by Stolars. Morgan to the miss. Morgan looking to center. It hits off a body, backhanded toward the front, and then they score! Dryden Hunt got a piece of it, and the goal drought is finally over. For the 21-year-old, he ties the game at 3. On a beautiful pass to Thompson. Thompson shoots and scores! Thompson puts his team in front for the second time in the period. And for the first time all year, the T-Birds have 4 in a frame. And Thompson not done having words for Sanheim after he gives his team the 4-3 lead.
Thanks to the team's first ever 4-goal period, the score sat at 4-3 heading into the third. It was a long and successful day for Shane Harper and the Thunderbirds, who are always looking ahead to the next day, the next game, and the next opportunity to prove themselves at the professional level.
Yeah, that was a big win. Kind of remembering when we played these guys last time, we were up on them in the third. They came back late and kind of stole the game, so kind of owed them a little bit. But yeah, we played really well tonight and come out on top. Yeah, we are a confident group right now.
Thanks, man.
Dad, hurry up!
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Can I get a picture? Yeah, of course.
The future is brought to you by Belize.
So we're here tonight, moments before Bruce Landon Legacy Night, where we're going to be inducting Norman Bruce Landon into the Springfield Pro Hockey Hall of Fame right here in Springfield, Massachusetts. And another surprise that Bruce is not aware of is we're going to be unveiling a banner in the rafters right next to the legendary Eddie Shore. So Bruce Landon may be retiring, but he'll be always remembered here at the Mass Mutual Center.
I've been kept in the dark in a lot of things. I just obviously know about the bobbleheads and the on-ice ceremony before the game, and I know my wife has got a lot of family and friends coming, the perch upstairs, so it's going to be a fun night, but as far as really what's going to take place, I'm really in the dark a little bit about it, and I think I prefer it that way.
Bruce will be honored with a plaque that will be displayed along the Wall of Fame, and he will be remembered here at the MassMutual Center for many years to come, but it's a very impressive piece to remember Bruce for all he's done to keep pro hockey alive in the city of Springfield.
I've made so many great relationships over the years. I think I've been dealing with, over my years, I've dealt with 17 or 18, 19 different National Hockey League teams, and I don't believe I ever burned any bridges, and I'm proud of that. So a lot of these people that I was affiliated with at the NHL level, I'm getting emails and texts right up to this morning from people about the retirement.
Bruce Landon's tireless hard work and dedication over his 40-plus years in the AHL has been instrumental to keeping professional hockey in Springfield. Time and time again, Bruce has laid the foundation for success, and the T-Birds are the latest beneficiary of his efforts.
Knowing I'm walking away from hockey, it's going to be emotional, but I always knew this day would come, and I always knew, I thought when the time would be right, and as far as I'm concerned, the time is right.
But I can honestly say, when I walk off this carpet, I leave the building for the very last time. I feel proud of one major accomplishment that is true in my heart. And that is that I can walk away from hockey now, knowing that professional hockey will be in Springfield for a long time.
Now that the Thunderbirds organization has begun its journey, Bruce Landon is taking a new and different route.
It's going to be an adjustment, but again, I look forward to just seeing where that takes me. And I find if I do get bored, there's some charity work that is important to me that I'll get involved in. There's a couple of people talking about getting on some boards. Hockey people are good people. I'm going to miss the relationships, but I will stay in touch with a lot of people. I plan on doing that.
On Saturday, March 11th, the MassMutual Center hosted Pink in the Rink Night to benefit Rays of Hope and breast cancer awareness. The T-Birds and some special guests took to the ice in front of a sold-out crowd, the second in team history.
He's got Whitco joining. Hunt's looking in front, throws it back door, and Thompson scores! Team leading 13th for Paul Thompson. McCann, Howard moving up in over the Hartford line. McCann backhands in front of Greco, scores! Paul Thompson quickly to Vallacy. Vallacy fields out of his skates in front. Thompson shoots and scores! Hose to put out Paul Thompson, his second of the night, comes just 36 seconds into the third, and the T-Birds lead for the first time. It's 3-2. Lynch steps in front, shoots and scores! Out to McCosh, the one-time blast, he scores! A heat-seeking missile from Ian McCoshen makes it 5-2.
The Thunderbirds would take the momentum of their 5-2 win into the next afternoon's home ice matchup with the Rochester Americans.
dropping it off for Akalapsi. Akalapsi, right wing feed to Rao. Rao's back in front. Greco scores! He's done it again! Anthony Greco taking the perfect feed from Rao.
I think if anybody says they don't think about it from time to time, they'd probably be lying, but it's nice to finally put a couple in the net and hopefully just keep going.
The 2-0 final was the Thunderbirds' third victory in as many days, completing the weekend sweep. Following Saturday night's game, the Thunderbirds players were involved in a different kind of contest, all for an outstanding cause.
No? Okay.
Thank you. Well, my parents want the jersey and my girlfriend's out there, so, but they don't want to pay over $400 to $500, so.
Tell the guy, what are you expecting now Wilcox to go?
Like negative 200?
He's in the home money on this jersey. $600. How about Eddie back there? What do you think he'll do?
$600.
I'll probably spend $1,000 on Waco.
$600.
$600. Anyone with $625. $650. $625 going once. $625 going twice. The new guy in town. $625 sold. $475. $500. $510. No, maybe. $510. Oh, $510. You gonna want to have it, $510? Too really. Sold $510.
They want to get you.
I'm blushing.
I don't know if I can top Graham Black's 1,500, but I want to get above 600 if we can. As long as I get above the minimum, I'm happy.
Okay, 350, nice. Oh, we got 400? She's bidding against herself.
Sold $500.
I'll take that.
I'll buy it.
$475.
What are you at right now?
$450.
$500.
I don't know what I can't.
Going twice. Sold. Congratulations. Nice job.
The jersey auction tallied $16,805 in sales, all to be donated to the Rays of Hope Foundation.
Jay Sauerla, because it was my dad's number when he was playing hockey.
Well, if you could say something to the team to pump them up, to get them ready to win tomorrow, what would you say to the team?
Go Thunderbirds.
The future is brought to you by Belize.
The running joke that I always have on game days is that I kill an entire rainforest worth of trees with how many printables I have to put together for whether it's our coaching staff for their game day prep or visiting coaches, visiting broadcasters, media, or scouts that are in attendance. Tonight it's Bridgeport, a team we've seen 9 times already, so we've been in overtime or in 1-goal games with these guys so many times I can barely even keep track, and there have been some very, very poignant moments in our season against them, with Jace Howerluck getting hit in December being one of them. So it's a rivalry that's been pretty fierce. Bridgeport is a team that is so much better when they score the game's first goal than when they give it up, so that's something that'll probably be pretty high on the priority list in terms of information in the opening tonight. I also am keeping an eye on what we're doing on the website and working in conjunction with our media department on social media things as well. There's times where I have to pull double duty and tweet some games, and so there's a lot of different things that have to be put into effect there. It'll be an instance where tonight there'll be a lot of urgency on their side of things, and Springfield's just trying to play the role of spoiler this time of year, and I know our team's got a lot of guys who have plenty of pride, and there's a lot of guys who mention that they're very much auditioning for jobs next year, because what people don't get on the outside is there's not a whole lot of players on this team that are necessarily guaranteed a spot next year, so there's still a whole lot to play for, and I think a lot of people will just think, oh, with the season done and with playoffs not on the horizon, is it going to be a time for guys to mail it in? And I don't think, I know for a fact Jordy won't accept that being the case. Sports have been a part of my life since I could walk. Some of my earliest memories are hitting a baseball off a tee in the backyard and shooting hoops on the little play school basketball hoop, and having the little hockey nets and playing on the driveway with my neighbors next door. So I knew I always wanted to stay in sports in some capacity, and I knew sports were a big part of my life when my mom would always tell me, you know, Ryan, there's other things in life besides sports, you know. And I like to think that even to this day I didn't really listen to her on that. And when I was 12 or 13, my mom signed me up for what's called a sports broadcasting camp, which is run out of the Philadelphia area where I grew up. And even at that young of an age, it was really enlightening and inspiring for me to see so many broadcasters tell a very similar anecdote about wishing they could play and broadcasting being the fallback. And while it sounds like a fallback, it ends up turning into your whole life, and it consumes you and it becomes your passion. I basically grew up listening to the broadcasts of Jim Jackson, who's the Flyers announcer, and years later he actually recommended me. He wrote a letter of recommendation for Syracuse University and actually got me into the school. And they accept so few people that it was really an honor, but there was another school I had looked at, and my family has so many ties to Penn State, and even though they were only a club hockey program at the time, I just was drawn to it because it just had the feeling of home, and was just an added bonus to learn that they would be getting D1 hockey beginning my senior year. It was sort of like the affirmation for me that I had picked the spot that was perfect for me, and I knew that it was going to help me get to the next level. But when I got into the USHL, where the lifeblood is the business side and the ticket sales, and how what we do from a media perspective drives tickets, that was a real good thing for me to learn in Madison, and it really taught me just how much more goes into a hockey team than just what you see on the ice and what you see and hear over the air. And it really, I think, set me up to sort of better understand what it would be like in the American Hockey League, just how everything sort of works together from the hockey side to the media side to the sales side, and how everything just sort of morphs together, and the best teams are the ones that are in sync in all three of those areas.
Wing feed Ballasy across the Thompson. Thompson down low, Hunt, backhand, he scores! Tic-tac-toe! Hunt buries it past the sprawled out McAdam, and it's tied at 1. 9:30 into the first. Who needs a stinking power play?
My president in Madison worked very closely with our vice president, Nate Costa, with the San Antonio Rampage a number of years back. And I'm in debt to really both of them, Ed in Madison and Nate in Springfield, for giving a 25-year-old kid an opportunity to be in the American Hockey League as, to my knowledge, the youngest broadcaster in the league. And I just like to try to take every day as I never feel like I've completely earned it. I always want to prove to myself that I belong here. I don't want to wake up complacent any one day. And that's sort of just always been my motto. if we sat down a year from now, I think the biggest thing I would want to be able to look back and say is very similar to something that Jordy Kinnear would say. It's not a matter of trying to look at and pinpoint one specific goal or one specific set of objectives. It's constantly bettering yourself each and every day. I don't like to put a timetable like I'd like to be in the NHL by this age, or I'd like to have accomplished this, or I would have liked to experience a new market at this time. But the people of Springfield and the people of the Thunderbirds have been so great to me that I see this as being a home for myself for an indefinite period of time. Whatever that may be, we'll just, my dad always likes to say, enjoy the ride. And so, doing my best to enjoy it.
Buckles in behind that, take it down. Couldn't get a centering pass off. McKenzie holds it in off a turnover. Fires toward the net. Tip, they score! Buckle up! Buckles has his first pro goal in his first game. 6:58 into the second. And the Cornell product made a very heads-up play there.
I'm Matt Buckles. I just joined the Springfield Thunderbirds. I'm 21 years old. I got taken down behind the net. Originally tried to take it out front myself, but then I went up to Mac at the point, and he just found me off the side of the net and just redirected it. And I didn't know that it went in until I saw the red light go on. But it's been crazy. I got a call that I'd get an opportunity like this, so I think that was midday Monday. Got my stuff packed, got in the car, got here late Monday, and met the boys. It's sort of been a whirlwind. The days have blended together, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to be here.
Matt Buckles, the senior.
It's great. It's the best season that we had in my 4 years there. We play a very system game, defensively structured, but we were able to put up a lot of goals.
Gets it back to Buckles, the shot, and the goal! Matt Buckles sends Cornell to the ECAC quarterfinals.
Individually, I got OT winner in the playoffs at home was pretty special. The fans were going pretty crazy. It was a lot of fun.
From the logistical side of things, just how much of a transition is it? A week and a half ago you're playing in the NCAA tournament, tonight you're playing in the American Hockey League. What's your last week been like in that?
That's been crazy. I mean, it's been adjustment living in a new place, living in a hotel, meeting a bunch of new guys, but the guys have been really good. They've helped me feel a lot more at home, and so it's been an adjustment, but they've made it a lot better.
The future is brought to you by Belize. The home of the Florida Panthers was the site of a strong debut for Thunderbirds defenseman Ian McCoshen, who tallied his first NHL point in his debut.
Ian played great. I thought he played his tempo, played his game, and many more games to come for him.
Well, how'd it go, man?
It was a lot of fun out there. Decoy made me really comfortable out there. Tried to settle me in and let me play my games. It was a lot of fun to play with him.
It's gotta be nice.
Yeah, you don't anticipate getting a point in your first game. Just trying to play simple, like pucks out, pucks in, stuff like that. Be physical, but it's always nice. It's definitely an opportunity that I don't take lightly. I'm trying to out here to stay. Just trying to make the most of this opportunity.
Nice smile.
It's kind of nice to finally get your first NHL game and stuff like that at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to potentially next year, but yeah.
Fan Appreciation Weekend kicked off on Friday, April 14th with a big thank you to the owners and an onslaught of T-Birds offense.
Well for Springfield, finds Mackenzie Weegar in front, slap back for McCann, shoots and scores! Powell on top of the drop to Balance. Balance, he shoots and scores! Pointing, shooting, he scores! The hat trick for Darren McCann! And the first home ice hat trick in Thunderbird history! Recto near side, puts one toward the goal, deflection, score! Fox, Hunt trying to streak it alone. Hunt shoots and scores! So we're going to the best, but kept the puck and shoots. One Williams, the save, Reno, Buckle scores! There is the extra point! You knew this game was not going to end quietly. You just knew it as Rao and St. Denis in the welterweight matchup start swinging. By a final score of 7-0.
The Thunderbirds netted an amazing 7 goals to secure the win and eliminate Bridgeport from the AHL playoffs. After the game, fans lined up to get autographs from the entire T-Birds roster.
They're signing their names, then I'll go to the prosthetic company on Tuesday, clear coat, seal. Last year, when it was the Falcons, I had a Falcons leg. So when Daniel Briere signed last year.
Oh, that's the first time signing a leg.
I was here a couple years ago, and it wasn't always the best. I think this year it's been great. The fan support at home has been awesome. Even though the record's not where we want it to be, it seems that we got a good crowd showing up every night, and it's a lot of fun to play in front of. And it seems like the type of city and community that appreciates the way we work. And usually we put on pretty good games, tight games, and we play hard. So it's easy to build off of when we have a nice crowd. Throughout the year, we have a lot of young players that made really big strides in their development, went a long way, and at the end of the day, the league is really to develop guys to the next level, and I think guys learned how to work the right way and play the right way and learn some little details, and made a lot of improves throughout the year, and I think we've been a hard team to play against all year for any team we go up against, so I mean, it hasn't been the best record-wise, but I think you can find some success in the way we play and the development of a lot of players.
Side now, waiting for a trailer. He turns away from Strommel, has room, backdoor feed, wide open, Weegar score! As Thompson in front is denied, and then the rebound goes in, McCann scores again! Anthony Greco's away, Greco a short-handed breakaway, scores! Thompson gets it to the point to Weegar across the Hunt, Hunt the wrister, they score! Shevich at the line. Powell on right side, winding, blasting, score!
I don't think I can really point out any of them. I think all of them did an awesome job and took big steps. I think Dragon Hunt, Powerlock, the D-Core, the young D-Core, all those guys. A guy like Juho Lamiko, I think, improved a lot. Unfortunately, hurt towards the end, but I think all those guys, every single rookie's going to be looking to build off a good year and come back in their second year and be even better.
Fan Appreciation Weekend would come to a close moments later, with lucky fans receiving jerseys straight off the team's back.
It's a really good honor, and don't take it lightly. Can always give back to the community that helps you out so much. So just trying to help kids out, whether it's reading at schools or any opportunity like that, Boys and Girls Club. Just giving back really means a lot to me. I've always tried to carry that wherever I went.
To Eric and Jacoby. I already personalized this one for these guys. Read it, alright? Don't touch that right now because it's still wet, alright? Alright? Yeah, thanks for calling. I'm gonna miss you guys too. Yeah. Alright?
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the park. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you.
On the near side now, waiting for a trailer. He turns away from Strommel, has room, backdoor feed, wide open, Weegar score. Every single Wolfpack player thought McCann was going to shoot it, but Mackenzie Weegar had crept in the back door and he had himself a wide open net. It's 1-0 Springfield, 6:40. How many courts a three to center. Anthony Greco's away. Greco, a short-handed breakaway, scores! Across the Hunt. Hunt the wrister. Tip, they score! On right side, winding, Plastic, score! Their special teams steal the show. It's now 5-1 as Chase Howard picks up goal number 9. They gave their fans about as much appreciation as the fans showed them. Welcome to the new era of Springfield AHL hockey as the Springfield Thunderbirds kick off their inaugural season tonight.
Here we go.
I'm very proud to introduce to you the new AHL hockey team here in Springfield, the Springfield Thunderbirds.
And the Springfield Thunderbirds, that is the new name for the new AHL hockey team in Western Massachusetts.
Hands up to the sky. I'm feeling cold. Everybody get golden.
Balancing right circle, spinning away from Barbario across the Uyghur. Uyghur the shot. He scores!
Just for tonight, everybody get golden, so we can go until we shine. Now it's as good as it can get. Silver hills and silhouettes, oh. You press your hands against my chest. This isn't over yet. Everybody get golden.
Stock off the in front, Harper scores!
Just for tonight, everybody get golden, so we can go until we shine.
On it, a minute 10 to go. We haven't had a whistle in over 5 minutes.